The San Antonio Spurs have a lot of work to do this offseason. You see, they have one of the best players in the entire NBA in Victor Wembanyama, and he's expected to be the face of the league at some point over the next few seasons. So it's only right that you build a championship team around him. Right now, they have a young core with Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan, Devin Vassell, and possibly Dylan Harper. But the San Antonio Spurs have to ask themselves one question: will this be enough to get them to the NBA Finals over the next few seasons? In my opinion, I believe it's possible because they have defenders, scorers, and guys with a lot of potential. I wouldn't necessarily say they have the same blueprint as the Oklahoma City Thunder. However, if they're patient enough, they could have similar results. Now, there's also another option. They can go out and build a team to win next season. There's been reports that Giannis Antetokounmpo wants to leave from the Milwaukee Bucks organization. And then they also have the Boston Celtics, a team that will be over the second apron, and their leading player, Jason Tatum, will be out at least the entire next season. So the Spurs have an opportunity to go get two former final MVPs. That might be a stretch, but it's definitely possible. I put a trade together where the Spurs get Giannis and Jaylen Brown, and the Celtics, they will receive Harrison Barnes, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan, and a 2027 first round pick via the Atlanta Hawks. The Milwaukee Bucks will end up receiving Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle, Malachi Branham, Blake Wesley, the 14th, 28th, and 38th pick in this year's draft, a future first rounder, and a future second round pick. Before I get into the Spurs, let's talk about why the other teams would do a deal like this. For one, the Celtics will be $19.9 million over the second apron. So in a deal like this, they will end up shedding $9.5 million. Boston can also see what the ceiling of Keldon Johnson is. And while Jeremy Sohan is on the last year of his deal, it will be important to keep an eye on that 2027 first round pick. The Atlanta Hawks, they were 9th in the East just last season, but their future, we don't know how bright it is exactly. They still have Trae Young on the roster. Jaylen Johnson, he did get hurt last season, and while they do have the 13th overall pick in this year's draft, they're looking to try to improve their roster. Will that move actually make them better? I'm not too sure. So this pick can be a lottery pick. This will give them enough time to assess their roster a year after Jason Tatum comes back. Moving on to the Milwaukee Bucks, they get the third leading scorer from the Spurs in Devin Vassell. He averaged 16.3 points, 2.9 assists, 4 rebounds, and shot 44% from the field and 36.8% from 3. He's a guy that's a 3-and-D player who's also been developing his ball handling. So while Damian Lillard is out next season, Vassell could be a combo guard that would complement Kevin Porter Jr. if the Bucks are able to re-sign him. But we can't forget about Stephon Castle. He's a guy that is versatile and exceptional on defense. He's physically gifted and stands pretty good whenever it comes down to strength and overall athleticism. That's your 3-guard rotation if you're the Milwaukee Bucks. You also have those picks from this year's loaded draft, 14, 28, and 38. So make the right decision, and in the weak East, you will still be a playoff team. Last and not least, let's get to the San Antonio Spurs, and that's the topic of discussion. One, you'll have De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, Jaylen Brown, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Victor Wembanyama as your starting lineup. Yes, you do have to fill out the rest of the roster. However, you can't deny the talent of these 5 players. De'Aaron Fox only ended up playing 17 games for the Spurs this season before he had season-ending surgery to repair tendon damage in his left pinky finger. What you guys can't forget also is that he's the first ever clutch player of the year. For the Sacramento Kings, he led the league in clutch points with 194 and in clutch points per game with 5. He also had the best field goal percentage in clutch time, shooting 52.9% from the field. Last and not least, his clutch performances helped the Sacramento Kings to the most clutch points, which was 508. As far as Jaylen Brown, I've always been a firm believer that he's a better player than Jason Tatum, and that is an interesting take. However, he was the guy that ended up winning Finals MVP. He averaged 20.8 points, 5.4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.6 steals, and shot 44% from the field against the Dallas Mavericks. I know Giannis Antetokounmpo and Victor Wembanyama will be great, but I really believe that Brown will be the bread and butter of this team. Not saying that he'll lead them in scoring, rebounding, or even assists. I just like his approach to the game overall. He can get you a bucket, and at the same time, he will go out and guard the other team's best player. And if he can do that, then Victor Wembanyama, Giannis Antetokounmpo, all they have to do is take care of the offensive duties and protect the rim. I know a lot of organizations want to have a more balanced team, but having 4 guys who are superstars that can score the basketball, that's just unheard of. If you have a roster like this, then Victor and Giannis don't have to play the entire 82-game season, but they'll be able to keep afloat, they'll be able to rest, and that way, whenever playoff time comes around, they can make a deep push. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think the San Antonio Spurs should go after 2 former final MVPs? Don't forget to give me a trade grade and rate the possibility of it happening 1 through 10. Now, do you think that this team can make the NBA Finals? And do you think Victor Wembanyama will be a better player than Giannis Antetokounmpo? Before I head out, you guys, don't forget to smash that like button, comment, and subscribe. Also, follow me on my Instagram channels so you don't miss any more ScottyIce content. I appreciate all you guys loving your support, and as always, this your boy ScottyIce, aka Baby Bron, and you already know, I'm out.